"And, sir," replied the sergeant, "their vehicle has broken down a second time, it really must be doomed." "They are bad managers," said D'Artagnan, shrugging his shoulders. "When a carriage is chosen, it ought to be strong. The carriage in which a Broussel is to be arrested ought to be able to bear 10,000 men. What are your commands?" "Lieutenant, take the detachment and conduct him to his place." "But you will be left alone." "Certainly, so you suppose I have need of an escort. Go." The musketeers set off, and D'Artagnan was left alone with Raoul. "Now," he said, "are you in pain?" "Yes, my head is not only swimming but burning." "What's the matter with this head?" said D'Artagnan, raising the battered hat. "Ah, a bruise?" "Yes, I think I received a flower pot upon my head." "Brutus," said D'Artagnan. "But were you not on horseback? You have spurs." "Yes, but I got down to defend Monsieur de Comminges, and my horse was taken away." "Here it is. I see." At this very moment Friquet passed, mounted on Raoul's horse, waving his party-colored cap and crying, "Broussel, Broussel." "Halloo, stop, rascal!" cried D'Artagnan. "Bring hither that horse." Friquet heard perfectly, but he pretended not to do so, and tried to continue his road. D'Artagnan felt inclined for an instant to pursue Master Friquet, but not wishing to leave Raoul alone, he contented himself with taking a pistol from the holster and cocking it. Friquet had a quick eye and a fine ear. He saw D'Artagnan's movement, heard the sound of the click, and stopped at once. "Ah, it is you, your honor," he said, advancing toward D'Artagnan, "and I am truly pleased to meet you." D'Artagnan looked attentively at Friquet, and recognized the little chorister of the Rue de la Calendar. "Ah, 'tis thou, rascal," said he. "Come here, so thou hast changed thy trade. Thou art no longer a choir boy nor a tavern boy. Thou hast become a horse stealer." "Ah, your honor, how can you say so?" exclaimed Friquet. "I was seeking the gentleman to whom this horse belongs, an officer, brave and handsome as a youthful Caesar, then, pretending to see Raoul for the first time. Ah, but if I mistake not," continued he, "here he is. You won't forget the boy, sir." Raoul put his hand in his pocket. "What are you about?" asked D'Artagnan. "To give 10 francs to this honest fellow," replied Raoul, taking a pistol from his pocket. "10 kicks on his back," said D'Artagnan. "Be off, you little villain, and forget not that I have your address." Friquet, who did not expect to be let off so cheaply, bounded off like a gazelle up the Quai la Rue Dauphine, and disappeared. Raoul mounted his horse, and both leisurely took their way to the Rue Tiquetonne. D'Artagnan watched over the youth as if he had been his own son. They arrived without accident at the Hôtel de la Chevrette. The handsome Madeleine announced to D'Artagnan that Planchet had returned, bringing Mousqueton with him, who had heroically borne the extraction of the ball, and was as well as his state would permit. D'Artagnan desired Planchet to be summoned, but he had disappeared. "Then bring some wine," said D'Artagnan. "You are much pleased with yourself," said he to Raoul when they were alone. "Are you not?" "Well, yes," replied Raoul. "It seems to me I did my duty. I defended the king." "And who told you to defend the king?" "The Comte de Law for himself." "Yes, the king; but today you have not fought for the king. You have fought for Mazarin, which is not quite the same thing. But you yourself?" "Oh, for me, that is another matter. I obey my captain's orders. As for you, your captain is the prince. Understand that rightly you have no other. But has one ever seen such a wild fellow?" continued he, making himself a Mazarinist and helping to arrest Broussel. "Breathe not a word of that, or the Comte de Lawford will be furious. You think the count will be angry with me. Think it. I'm certain of it. Were it not for that, I should thank you, for you have worked for us. However, I scold you instead of him, and in his place. The storm will blow over more easily, believe me. And moreover, my dear child," continued D'Artagnan, "I am making use of the privilege conceded to me by your guardian. I do not understand you." "Sir," said Raoul. D'Artagnan rose, and taking a letter from his writing desk, presented it to Raoul. The face of the latter became serious when he had cast his eyes upon the paper.